Oh, Konosuba, you've done it again. You know how to make the next episode, which is this one I'm reviewing, be even funnier than the last. Because you know what? I love this episode. I love how Kazuma is both a hero and a dirtbag in its unique way. He knows how to mix the two up. He knows how to mix being a guy who does something selfless, which bites him in the ass, as well as a guy who is a jackass. It works. It works for this idiot. I can't help but admire it. Because, look, I want to bring something up that caught my attention the last episode. A specific comment that I enjoyed reading being Kazuma is that one friend who appears smart around the group, but once alone is just as insane as the others. And this person is not wrong. Because look, the thing with Kazuma is, it proves in this episode, he's just as batshit crazy as Megumin, Darkness, and Aqua. And the way that goes about it is quite literally the shenanigans they get themselves in. So the main point of this is they're basically at this landlord's place. He made the mistake of telling Darkness, hey, you get to be here as long as you want. Which obviously Kazuma took the opportunity of, oh, you let Darkness here? Darkness is part of our group. So that means that we all get to stay as long as we want. And yeah, shenanigans start ensuing. Who the fuck would have guessed that? With the only person who seems to be suffering out of all of this is quite literally Darkness herself. The funniness about it is that she is the mature one for once. Keep in mind, Kazuma's not mature for the most part. It's just, compared to the three girls and their shenanigans, he's just the more sane. This one, she has to uphold her status as the noble. And yeah, unfortunately, her friends are embarrassing the ever-living shit out of her, which she does get payback later on, but mainly on Kazuma. Anyway, so yeah, obviously shenanigans happen. Kazuma and this landlord, or this lord, is quite literally are quite perverts, as Kazuma learns, hey, there's this mirror that somehow leads into obviously being able to peep the bathroom where, you know, people take a bath and all that. You do love the excuse Kazuma has on not allowing anyone in there because he doesn't want the noble lord to peep on Darkness, which is funny because, I mean, he does boast about having seen Darkness, well, having taken a bath with her and all, which is not wrong. Granted, though, he thought it was the succubus until eventually it dawned on him that, no, it wasn't. But that's besides the point. I like that they would have struck in some kind of weird deal, but Darkness was there. She's clearly not having that and breaks the damn thing. And both of them are just in fucking disarray for it. And it comes down to Megumin, you know, it's the same drill as always. Blow shit up. What do you expect? And Aqua drinking herself in her crazy ass sorrows. Because let's be real, that's the only happiness she has, just drinking. I mean, it's sad, but it's kind of funny, I guess. Now, to make a long story short, basically the whole crux of this episode leads to Kazuma seeming like sane back again, because, you know, Megumin's obviously causing explosions, which is misinterpreted as the devil army doing something, until he starts messing with the maid, which, I mean, that was obviously the nobleman's last straw, as he basically says, I know I said you can stay as long as you want, but, and then Darkness, obviously embarrassed as hell, just says, don't even finish the thought, we'll be gone. So yeah, literally the entire point of Kazuma to capture this noble thief goes to shit because his crew cannot keep themselves in fucking check. Which, funny thing about that, because on the last night, he catches the thief, and guess who the fuck it always was? You know, I already knew it was Chris. Chris was always the culprit. Who else would it have been? Someone competent? Kazuma would have gotten his ass whooped. The fact it was Chris is funny. And here's the cool part. Kazuma does not, like, he could have taken her in, she could have gotten in so much shit, and he would have been competent enough to stay in the castle, which was the selfish part. His selfless part was literally letting her go and basically allowing himself to be tied up and obviously look incompetent as hell, which the noble people were already thinking he wasn't going to do it, and he wanted to prove them wrong. He could have proven them right, and yet he chose not to do that, because deep down the dude is a good guy, even though he has a shit ton of flaws like his crazy ass team. But that's besides the point. The main point is we have good guy Kazuma doing this, and after he does this, Aqua obviously starts saying stupid shit that honestly would make Kazuma want to hit her, and this causes Darkness to finally fucking snap. And I mean snap. So yeah, he's basically being tortured to hell, basically having to apologize to Darkness, since in all honesty, it is kind of Kazuma's fault that they're basically in the position they are in, and the embarrassment she had to uphold. Like, look, she is a masochist. However, there's a difference between shit that happens to her because she wants it to, and shit that happens to her in a way that is way more shameful to her family name, which obviously Kazuma broke that through the latter. So, yeah, Kazuma's apologizing. He then gets disowned by literally the castle people, as they have no use for him, really. And the princess, clearly, she trusts that Kazuma did his best, and is pretty much just giving him an easy out, because, I mean, she's basically making sure that he's not more hated than he already is. And then, obviously, some shenanigans in the capital, which, honestly, I mean, you could chalk it up to random Konosuba encounters. But the interesting one was the Kyoya guy, who, I mean, let's be real, his name's kind of weird, but he basically is trying to give Aqua stuff, and yeah, the ring didn't fit. Like, my dude, are you trying to marry this crazy ass girl? You do not want to marry this one. This one's genuinely... I would rather Darkness and her crazy-ass masochistic ways than Aqua and her annoying screams that almost feel like my soul is dying. But obviously that's being too harsh. Anyway, so Chris comes back into the picture, starts talking about needing to collect stuff related to cheat codes, as Kazuma would say. The stuff that all people like Kazuma, when they reincarnate, basically collect them because of some big importance to her client. However, I find it ironically funny because she should have had in mind, this would have alerted Kazuma that, yeah, she stole the damn thing from episode 1, which obviously Kazuma was pissed as hell. And he doesn't want to hear anything more because, as he puts it, if he hears anything, that usually means he gets into even more shit. And he threatens with sexual assault. So, obviously, it's kind of funny because you feel like that's really the only way to get Chris to back off on him, since he obviously did that, get her to run away back earlier in the episode. And then the damn alarm of the Devil's Army is attacking the capital. Darkness obviously wants to go because, you know, it's her sworn duty. Megumin only wants to go to blow shit up, and then Aqua wants nothing to do with it. Kazuma at first doesn't want anything to do with it, but then he thinks in a selfish but somehow selfless but selfish way, that if he's able to pull some good shit off, he'll look like a hero. He might get back to the castle. And yep, that's how the episode ends. Literally the most selfish thing ever. And yet somehow this is going to turn upside down into a selfless thing. Because as much as Kazuma can be a piece of shit, when it really does matter, I can guarantee you he'll make it count.